What's up everyone, it's Wizard101 back again with another Wiz video, and today I'm going to be talking about the recent situation that's been unfolding with Kingsisle right now. It's honestly insane. If you haven't heard, Hawkules, the community manager of Pirate101, is no longer working at Kingsisle, and it was later revealed that he was fired. Now I initially was made aware that Hawkules was leaving a few hours before the whole situation blew up due to him leaving the servers 101 related and people calling attention to it. Apparently he also left a goodbye message which was later deleted, and it was later revealed that he was fired and he was banned from these servers as opposed to him leaving on his own accord. Now I'm not going to pretend like I'm an avid Pirate101 player, but the Pirate players I do know really loved Hawkules as a Pirate101 community manager, and he was one of the few Kingsisle employees that the Pirate community almost universally liked. And you can see that effect even in the Wiz community, because usually some of the more outspoken KI employees aren't seen in the most positive light here. With how interconnected these communities are as well, he has definitely also had an impact on the Wiz community, especially since Kyle left less than a year ago at this point. I'm sure that he also probably had to do a lot of work with the Wiz community as well in order to fill in the gap left by Kyle before Emma joined the team. The story behind Hawkules' firing though, or the reason why he no longer wanted to work, is what we'll be talking about in the video today, and what he saw on Twitter and how it involves another KI employee known as Matthew Anderson or Sparck. Before I start reading this Twitter thread though, I just want to say that I don't condone target harassment towards anyone in the community. If you want change, they need to be civil about it and not let this become reduced into some type of hate mob with a distorted message. With that being said, let's get into the first tweet. The first tweet from Hawkules was clarifying the real reason why he was fired. He was fired because he stopped working, as simple as that. However, at least part of the reason why he wanted to stop working, or him being uncomfortable, was because of the behavior of a fellow Kingsisle employee, who he was under the leadership of, who many of you all know as Sparck. Scrolling down the feed, we have the first major allegation. Sparck wanted to interview someone named Mike from the Wiz community Duel Circle for some journalistic purpose. This was met with immense backlash by Hawkules and another community manager because this individual was a known stalker who stalked and harassed another KI employee whose name will remain private back in 2019. I'll be putting up some of the tweets by this individual on the screen, and looking at some of these screenshots, it's clear to see that the extent of the stalking was really bad. In my opinion, this interview should have never been on the table. He did release a statement on Twitter kind of apologizing, but it feels more like putting it under the rug, saying it was already addressed. Overall, just a very awful situation, and since Mike did confirm this interview was going to happen, it doesn't seem like an allegation anymore, and I think Sparck really needs to address it. Later in the same tweet, Hawk also alleged that Sparck had no idea how to play Wiz or even use basic software or social media platforms, which we'll be getting into later, because having no idea how to use Discord or other social media seems like things that would hold someone back as a community manager. He goes into this point further the next tweet by talking about how Sparck just told him to Google things when asking for professional advice, which definitely calls into question how qualified Sparck is to be in his position. The next allegations are honestly something else, and they need to be shared if these things are true because they need to be addressed. The next tweet on the thread talks about how after him and a former community manager, who I'm guessing to be Kyle, confronted Sparck about interviewing Mike, the aforementioned stalker, Sparck went on a tangent about how the Blizzard SA cases were over-exaggerated, which is just disgusting on a whole bunch of different levels in my opinion. I don't think Sparck is in any position to be commenting on, especially diminishing the sexual assaults and harassment that employees endured at Blizzard, where the work culture was so bad that a person lost their life due in part to what they were put through working for Activision Blizzard. Overall, just a very, very awful situation, and I don't know what possessed him to say that. Hawk's next tweet is in reference to Sparck saying that he had yellow fever and not the disease, which is just kind of weird. Like, fetishizing someone for their race is really creepy, and the fact he admitted that to his co-worker is insane. Hawk also accused Sparck of seeking out his father during a Renaissance fair to talk to his dad about his behavioral issues, which is just really unprofessional and disrespectful. It seems that Sparck just viewed Hawk as a child rather than a colleague, and the fact that Sparck just went out seeking his father is really creepy to me. It just seems very invasive and violating. Very unprofessional behavior to say the least. He continues the thread by discussing how Kingsisle is full of wonderful people, but they're all victims of Sparck's lies and manipulation, and he references a stream which proves his earlier point of Sparck not knowing how to play Wiz, and we will get into that in a later segment on the video. He ends it by saying that we as a community deserve better and gives a heartfelt goodbye to us as a community, and that we should continue being kind to each other and keep up what we do, which I thought was a nice end to his chapter with KI, and I hope he finds a job where he doesn't have to deal with what has happened to him at Kingsisle. Honestly y'all, that was a huge info dump, and reading all that last night I was taken aback. First, I want to commend Hawk for coming out about all of this. I think that transparency is the best policy, and even if some of these allegations are true, Sparck or Kingsisle needs to address them. There's a petition out right now to get Sparck fired from Kingsisle, and I will be linking it in the description if you want to leave your signature. I'm always asking for your thoughts in the comments, and I think it's very important for your voices to be heard, especially in a community as small as Wiz. In my personal opinion, Sparck at the very least needs to be reprimanded for his actions, if not fired, because the way he's described in these tweets is awful. I would go as far as to say I think that he should formally resign from his position at Kingsisle as lead community manager. The interview with the stalker thing and the Blizzard comments especially made me raise my eyebrows because those things just cross so many lines and just aren't okay on any level. Not to say that the other things were okay, but those things especially just made my jaw drop. The next thing that I want to address separate from those allegations is that Sparck, the lead community manager, has no idea how to play the game. There's a video of him from a few years ago where he tried to sharpen a meteor and enchant an item card repeatedly, showing that he does not understand basic game mechanics like enchants of any kind or even refilling his health before going into fights. He spawned in a max level character with the top gear and he can't even beat mobs. The clip itself is just really sad because it shows his lack of care for the game he's supposedly an authority figure of. He's an employee of Kingsisle who's supposed to be managing the community, but he doesn't even understand basic mechanics of the game, and like Hawkules said, we as a community deserve better. I want to start a petition to throw Sparck into a run of Crying Sky Raid because y'all, I just want to see the dumpster fire that ensues with that. I think that this really goes deeper to prove that Kingsisle has a huge disconnect with the player base, and that a lot of people in positions of power within KI really don't know what they're doing with the game at all. Nobody's expecting Sparck to be this raid and PvP god with 7 maxes, but the fact he doesn't even know what Sharpened Blade does or what enchants in general do, a mechanic you unlock at level 50, just shows his utter lack of care for the game, as he doesn't even want to put in the bare minimum effort of just maxing a character or at the very least making it to the second arc. Overall, I really do hope that Sparck resigns. People in the extra credits program are often accused to be shills for Kingsisle or at least avid defenders of KI, which really isn't the case. I can't leak anything or name people, but a lot of us are unhappy with the situation and want Sparck to at least address these allegations. I know that at least publicly, Ice Gold has said he's going to cease making extra credits related content until Sparck resigns, and I will likely join him in this endeavor, at least until Kingsisle has taken appropriate action in investigating the situation and punishing Sparck, assuming he doesn't resign on his own accord. If you guys didn't know, I did actually just join the extra credits program like 2 weeks ago at this point. I was generally excited to be a part of the program, but this whole situation has definitely made me reevaluate the program and what I want to do within it. That is going to be the end of the video. Honestly, I'm just really disappointed in how all of this has turned out. I really don't like making these serious types of videos and talking about serious shit, but I do think that if I have a platform or how small it is, I should use it in order to speak out about what I think is right, and this is one of those situations. If you did enjoy the content, I would ask you to leave a like or a sub and to spread the message around. Again, this isn't going to be my regular type of content, and I will return to that after this video. But this is important for the community to know, and I think it's important that we don't allow this situation to merely be swept under the rug like other situations with KI have been in the past. With all that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.